Hi everyone, welcome to Silver Solutions, your show for living long and aging strong. We are bringing this show to you because we are passionate about helping people, especially seniors and the disabled. Join Jeanette Palmer, Jim Wojciechowski, and Kathy Wetters every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. on WRMN 1410 AM in Elgin for an enlightening and engaging program discussing various topics to help you and your family prepare for the golden years. We are taking your questions and visiting with experts about a wide variety of issues important to today's seniors. Silver Solutions is now going on the road with on-site video interviews. These will be posted on the Silver Solutions channel on YouTube. Our show is sponsored by Right at Home. Your choice of senior care is broad, but when it comes to choosing the right care for a loved one, the choice is narrow. Right at Home. Our mission is to improve the quality of life for those we serve, and we fulfill that mission through the right people caring for your loved one, the right in-home care services, and the right approach to ensure your peace of mind. Call us today at 877-ELDER-99. That's 877-353-3799.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Silver Solutions Radio, right here on WRMN 1410 AM, your show for living long and aging strong. We're bringing you this show because we're passionate about helping seniors in the disabled community. Hi, I'm Jeanette Palmer, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Kathy Wetters and Jim Wojciechowski.
Good morning. How's everyone doing today on the show?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Our energy levels high?
It would have been good if I hadn't watched the news last night and worry about it, the weather all morning. It wasn't anything about compared to what they had predicted.
Yeah.
What were they predicting?
Really, really cold.
Oh, tomorrow.
No, today.
Today?
Fog and the morning, that the combination was going to have slick roads. So.
It was fine. It was
fine.
We encourage you to call in with any questions or comments at any time during our show, and please do write this down, the number 847-931-1410. Again, 847-931-1410. We can't wait to hear from you.
Our show is brought to you by Right at Home. We provide the right care, allowing you or loved one to remain safe and independent. Whether the loved one needs care in their home, a nearby assisted or independent living community, or elsewhere, our custom home care services are provided in a variety of settings, so you can remain independent wherever you call home. Make the right choice. Call Right at Home today at 877-ELDER-99. That's 877-343-3799.
Great. Thanks, Jim.
You
know, our guest today is Eleanor Mamayek. Did I say it right?
Correct.
All right. And Eleanor is a volunteer with Honor Flight Chicago. We've invited Eleanor to be our guest today to share information about Honor Flight Chicago, so you or one of your loved ones could participate too. So welcome, Eleanor, and thank you for being our guest today.
Thank you for having me.
So could you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with Honor Flight Chicago?
I've been a resident of West Dundee for the past 30 years, and it's just been serendipity that I found Honor Flight Chicago. I read an article about a veteran going to Washington, D.C. With an honor flight. So I became interested in that, researched it, and just went online and filled out the application for a volunteer, and there I am.
Here you are.
Yes, nice. So I began volunteering 5 years ago with Honor Flight.
Eleanor, thank you for what you're doing, and it is such an important thing. I just want to also call out to all of our veterans out there. Thank you all for what you've done for us.
Thank you. And so, Eleanor, can you tell us what is Honor Flight? Everyone may not know what it is.
Honor Flight Chicago is an organization that their aim and goal is to take as many World War II veterans as we can to Washington, D.C. for a day of honor. And it is free to the veteran.
And so it's free to the veteran, but how is it financed?
It is financed by contributions by public citizens and local organizations. It's a strictly all volunteer organization, and we receive no government or charitable funding.
Wow. And is it a charitable organization? Is it like a 501c, or is it tax deductible to donate?
Yes, it is a 501. You may donate it. Just go online and they will tell you how to donate, or you can mail a donation in as well.
Okay, and we'll, if you get your pens and paper ready, we'll share that information closer to the end of the show.
Okay.
Eleanor, who is eligible to go on an honor flight?
Okay, if you're a World War II veteran, you are eligible. As long as you were in the service before 1946, December 31st, you are eligible. So you need not to be in the foxholes to be eligible. You can be working stateside. Many of our veterans that have gone have been stateside. Many have been in the Pacific Theater, and they have many, many stories to tell.
I bet.
So the World War II veterans get priority at this point.
Yes, the World War II veterans are our priority. We have taken 6,122 World War II veterans to date. Totally, we have taken 6,686 veterans to Washington, D.C. for a day of honor. Our trips are one day. We leave in the morning from Midway Airport, and we return home in the evening around 8:30. And in Washington, D.C., we have 5 buses that take the veterans to all of the memorials, as well as the Aerospace Museum. It is a full day, but we honor them throughout that day.
Now, something neat you mentioned, I was thinking of one of my elderly relatives, how in the heck he would get there. Where they admit they need a wheelchair or not, you have one wheelchair per
Yes,
person?
if they're ambulatory or not, we take them. So health problems are really not much of a concern unless it is very, very serious. We do take one wheelchair for every guardian, for every veteran on the flight. That goes along with us on the flight.
Wow.
And what we do is we go out of Midway Airport and we buy all the 143 seats on the plane that goes down to Washington, D.C. And I've forgotten what I was going to say.
Oh, that's okay.
That happens to me all the time.
Yeah, so we book the whole plane is what we do. And it's a one day trip, and we have between 8 and 10 flights a year.
8 to 10.
And when do they go?
And they go on usually the second Wednesday of the month. There are some months that we have 2 flights, and so it depends. And each flight costs about one day trip costs $60,000. So, and we have 2 fundraisers a year. One is a hockey classic, and that will be in March, and that's the Chicago Police Department play the FBI.
Oh, that's neat.
Oh, really? How cool is that?
And another one is sponsored by a VFW in DuPage Airport, and they usually raise enough funds. Each fundraiser raises enough funds for one trip.
Oh, okay.
Because they're $60,000 for one day.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to be looking for those, because that's something that we can announce on the program when those are,
Yes.
and get people to come.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. It is the hockey game is a fun time.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Now, what's the role of the guardian?
Okay, what we do, every veteran on our flight has a person with them all day, and that person we call a guardian. They're just there to take care of them, take care of their needs, make sure they're safe, because we are responsible for the veterans when we take them. And that's what they do.
So, and we were talking about you could go regardless of what health issues you had, and that's because you have skilled staff on the flight with you, right?
Right. On each of our flights, we have a medical team of 10, 2 doctors, and 8 nurses.
Wow, that's pretty. That's
And
And
great.
again, that's volunteer. Everyone associated with the trip
volunteer.
is volunteer.
Everyone is a volunteer, correct. And the flight is free. The day is free for the veterans. But the volunteers that go as guardians and the medical staff, they pay their way.
Their own way, right?
Yes. So they're volunteering plus paying.
Yeah, so which is totally different than volunteering with a paycheck. That's like
Correct.
volunteering and you're giving somebody
Correct.
So it's a
check.
difference between hogs
It's
and
volunteering with a check.
eggs
That's
and eggs and bacon. It's a difference between eggs and bacon.
Right.
You're fully committed and you're
Right.
paying your way. Yeah.
And as we were having coffee this morning, I just found out that being part of a guardian or volunteer to go on the trip, you have to be 65 or younger.
Correct.
Okay.
18 of the limit is 18 to 65 to be a guardian. And it can be a family member. On our last flight, our October 5th flight, which is our 75th flight.
75th.
Wow.
That is amazing.
Yes.
We
We
should ring the
had,
bell for that, don't you think?
right? Ah, there you go. Thanks,
it
Leah.
was our 75th flight. Yes, we're really proud of that. 6,686 veterans to
Yeah.
Washington.
From Chicagoland.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And we will take you from anywhere you get to Midway Airport.
Oh,
Beautiful.
So someone from Indiana or
Yeah,
Wisconsin?
we have,
or-
yes, we have from Indiana, we have from Wisconsin, Iowa. That's
Wow,
as far as I know.
Just get to
Yes.
Midway.
Yeah.
Yes, we had a one veteran from Indiana, and he had no way of really getting there. So the police chief found out, so the police chief took him down with the siren. Out of the way, we're coming through.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
So yeah, there's a lot of good stories.
I was talking to a veteran down in the south suburbs, and he said that limousine came and got him, and then picked 2 other guys up on the way to Midway. And he talked about the day. He was in his 90s. He was so moved.
Right. If a veteran does not have any way to get to Midway Airport, the important thing is to get to Midway Airport. You get there, we'll take you. Okay. And if there is no means of transportation, either a volunteer may pick them up, or a military may pick them up, or we have American Cab, which goes and picks them up. They volunteer and pick up the veterans. So
American Cabs. We need to
American
give them a
Cab.
plug.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Because
yes,
they do
they
that on a
are
volunteer basis
volunteer
too.
and they
Yeah.
provide the cab, correct, transportation.
So
And so when I was a guardian on the flight, it was a lot of sons taking their fathers. You know, that the sons paid to be the guardian, and then they sponsored their father to go. Now, what if you wanted to take, like, what if you were a veteran and you wanted your wife or someone to go with you? Is that possible?
Well, yes, they could take the wife with. You would just have to file an application as a guardian, and if the wife is under the age of 65, which we did have one.
Oh,
really,
did.
a May-December wedding
And
there.
We've
Okay.
had military spouses go on the trip.
sure.
Quite a few of those.
So that
Husband and wife, both of the military, have been on the trip. We have, it could be a daughter, son, grandson, nephew would go along with, or it could be just a friend as well. There are times maybe someone from a VFW post will go along as a guardian.
Oh, that's a good
Or
thought.
also we will pair them up, also if they request so.
Now you were mentioning Rosie the Riveters. How do they participate sometimes in the?
Well, Rosie
visits?
the Riveters, if you remember who they are during World War II, they worked on the planes when the men are shipped overseas, and there is a trip that'll take Rosie the Riveters, and that is out of Beloit, and it's called Vet Roll. And they go once a year, and they take 200 veterans and Rosies.
Oh,
And that's I believe it's a 5-day trip.
out of
Yeah.
Beloit.
And they leave out of Beloit, Wisconsin. 30 other crew that go along. We have 2 photographers, we have a bus captain, and a few other people that just keep things in line and make sure that they have a safe, good day.
Yeah, a nice
Okay.
experience. Everything runs so smoothly.
And so we leave Midway Airport about 7 o'clock and arrive in Washington, D.C., and on that flight we had 84 guardians waiting for the veterans. So each one had one-on-one. And we have 5 buses in Washington, and they're taken to the World War II Memorial, the Korean Memorial, Iwo Jima, which is the Marine, the Air Force Monument, Lincoln Memorial, Vietnam Memorial, and there's also a Navy Nurse Memorial, which I always encourage.
Oh, yeah.
I encourage the women to make sure you ask them to see that.
Absolutely.
They're taken to the National Cemetery.
And Smithsonian Institute.
And yes, they end the day up with the Aerospace Museum.
Totally packed.
And then they're taken and flown back to Midway Airport, arrive around 8:30 in the evening.
And on the flight back, there's mail call. And so, can you tell us a little bit about that? And is it possible for just regular citizens to participate in that mail call?
Yes, definitely. We always look for letters because, like on this flight, there were 107 veterans, and we want to make sure that every veteran is a part of mail call and gets mail. So yes, you can do that. You can write a letter to a veteran saying whatever you like to. I always say thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can mail it direct to Honor Flight Chicago. Yes, you can mail that to Honor Flight Chicago, and I will give you the address, which is...
Get your pens ready.
Get your pens ready. 938 West Montana Street, Chicago 60614.
Very good. So
Yes.
even if you can't make a flight, you can really make an impact by getting a letter to any of the other honor flights. So it's a great time to think of that.
Yeah, and especially now, this is the season of giving, and so that would be such a wonderful gift. And I know that they don't have the flights right now, but you can still write letters. You could write a letter a month, and send it in so that a veteran had the benefit of receiving a letter and knowing how grateful you are for their service.
Let's throw that address out one more time here, and then I'll make sure and put that up on our Facebook page too. I think that's such a great idea.
938 West Montana Street, Montana like the state, Chicago 60614. And the address is to Honor Flight Chicago Mail Call.
Yeah, and it makes such a huge difference. And I know that, when I was on the flight and the veterans were reading that was like so important and such an emotional time for them. A lot of their family members write them letters to express their gratitude, but getting the letters from businesses or children or citizens, just to recognize them for the contribution that they've made for our freedom is just so moving.
Every time we get together, we get a little bit choked up about this. And I think you heard that in Jeanette's voice, and you might hear it in mine every once in a while. But these people that stand defense for us, This is a great way to honor them. But so we left the Smithsonian, right?
Yes.
Now, was there a dinner at the Smithsonian?
I believe that's when they have their evening meal, and they're served lunch. They have breakfast on the plane and lunch, and then there's snacks in between. And we have 5 buses, which is full with snacks and water and drinks.
Yeah.
So they're well taken care of during the day.
So then they fly back, and what happens then?
What happens then? Should I tell, or do we want it to be a surprise?
Isn't it?
Oh,
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
okay. Are we going to have that as a surprise?
No, I think that we can say that there's an event. How about if we call it that?
Okay, there's an event. And for those that are listening that want to say thank you, call Honor Flight Chicago, because this is another way to thank a vet, and it is awesome. So we won't say anything for the vet surprise, but for those volunteers, you definitely want to participate in this.
You know, is there a way that, how does a person, maybe you have a family member that is a WWII vet, and you want to know how they can get involved in this honor flight? I mean, like you said, it's such an emotional experience that it brings everything back to the forefront, and you know, there's people who have stories to tell. How do they even find out about maybe being part of the honor flight? I mean, as a passenger, as a vet, you know, coming on to be a part of it.
As a veteran,
Yes.
they need to file an application.
That's as
And
simple
where
as
do-
that.
And
filing
as
an
simple as
application.
that.
And where do they
the-
get that application on?
They can get the application. They can go online, but I'm saying with, you know, our World War II veterans, you
Not
can
allowed.
make a phone call and ask for an application. That can be done. And just fill out the application. It's very, very simple, actually, not much to it. And then you'll get a phone call, and you'll be assigned an ambassador, and the ambassador will take care of you from then on. They'll make arrangements for
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 all of
all
it for
the
you.
things that need to be
Christmas
done
time.
with family members,
Mhm.
that kind of thing. And we do have, which you mentioned, the surprise, which is a welcome home. That's an evening. So we have 2 groups of volunteers, morning crew and the evening crew. And welcome home, anyone can come to that and be a part of that. All you have to do is go on the website honorflightchicago.org, and you'll get the information of what time you need to be there and what needs to be done. But
And you can become-
anyone can go and participate in that,
Right.
and believe me, it is very rewarding.
And you can be on the mailing list too, and know when, like, if there's one date that doesn't work for you, there's a variety of dates to choose from. So, you know, you're constantly being updated, so you know what's coming up and how you can fit it into your schedule.
Yes,
So-
the important thing is, again, this World War II veterans is our priority, and we are taking Korean as well. So just put your application in. That's the important thing, and forget about it and just wait the phone call.
There you
And
go.
once you get the phone call, you'll be on the way. Everything is taken care of. We look at all the medical issues. You need not to be ambulatory. The nurses will take care of you if you need oxygen, if you need insulin,
Right.
that type of thing. And we even have possibly one flight a year on a Tuesday as opposed to a Wednesday to accommodate dialysis patients. So, there's doctors and nurses, is what I'm saying. They take care of all the medical things.
To all you
And-
World War II veterans and now Korean War veterans, we want you there. And by the way, aside from Honor Flight Chicago, you can contact them, or Leah already said she's going to put this information up on the website, or you can contact any Right at Home office, and they will help guide you through the process also.
Sure. Of course we will. But Eleanor, will you give us your contact information again and how someone would go to fill out an application and
Okay, the application, if you can, go online or get a family member, a World War II veteran or Korean veteran, get a family member to go online. the young children, they know how to do that.
That's
So.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they can get an application online, or you can call. I'll give you the phone number, 773-27. Excuse me, I'll start over. 773-227-8387, and ask for an application to be mailed. You just fill it out, send it in, and you'll be on your way. You'll be on the waiting list. And there's also applications for guardians. If you would like to be a guardian, just fill out the application and send it in. If you would like to volunteer, there's also an application for that.
And the website address, Eleanor, is can you give us that again?
Yes, honorflightchicago.org. O-R-G.
Got it.
Honorflightchicago.org.
Well, again, you know, I told you that the time was going to fly, so here we are at the end of the show already. We want to